concepts. You don't want your kids to fail at math. You want them to have confidence and the skills to take them where their dreams are. Math Made Easy wants to make you an offer. They'll improve your student's grade by at least one full grade or your money back. Teachers can't slow the pace for each student. Math Made Easy can. For more than 20 years, Math Made Easy has been helping hundreds of thousands of students grasp challenging math concepts using a step-by-step approach. The affordable Math Made Easy programs help students visualize math concepts with engaging and dynamic lessons. Students learn at their own pace. Call 1-800-USA-MATH or visit mathmadeeasy.com. We offer a 30-day risk-free trial on all Math Made Easy programs. Why not use this summer to fill the gaps and get your student ready for the new school year? Turn frustration into achievement. Call 1-800-USA-MATH. 1-800-872-6284.
Fink's Car Care, with locations in Chesapeake and Portsmouth, is your dedicated Tire Stars dealer. At Fink's, their experienced staff specializes in brakes, steering, suspension, tune-ups, oil changes, and much more. They also handle rebuilt engines and transmissions, and they're your destination for tires, rims, and towing as well. Fink's is located at 2236 South Military Highway at 2711 Victory Boulevard. For more information, log on to finkscarcare.com or call 545-3573.
Your family and their safety are your number one priority. Your home, your business, and quality of life provide peace of mind. Your security can be enhanced with the proper firearms and ammo from Battlefield Guns and Ammo. Never take anything for granted, whether you're at home or away. Call 757-410-7720, log on to battlefield-guns.com, and visit Battlefield Guns and Ammo at 240 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake.
Chesapeake, Virginia, 1650 AM WHKT presents Sports Scene. Sports Scene features local, regional, and nationally acclaimed guests and excellent interviews. Follow Sports Scene on Twitter at Greg Bick and at GJBTV.com. Now here is Greg Bicouvaris.
Very much, Ken Johnson. Glad you're with us right here on News Talk 1650 WHKT. Right here every Wednesday, 12 to 1, right here for Hampton Roads' premier sports interview radio show. Also on TuneIn.com. Type WHKT in the search box. This is an interview show just like NNPSTV.com, which we showcase sports highlights. Every Wednesday, 12 to 1, save the date on the radio. News Talk 1650 AM in Hampton Roads. Go to TuneIn.com, type in WHKT, listen on your phone or your computer. This is your home for CBS News in Hampton Roads. Tell your friends about 1650. Find them on Facebook and Twitter. For me on Twitter, at Greg Bick, at Sports Highlight, at GJBTV, and HROnlineMall.com. Thank you to our military. Great guest lineup as well, presented by the Egg Bistro as well, coming up today. We're going to talk about the JD Classic Golf event coming up. Also, Marvin Hedgepeth about the Wimbledon and much more right here on News Talk 1650 on Sports Scene. Don't forget to go to GJBTV.com. Hit the YouTube link for archived Sports Scene shows. Sponsors this month for me on WHKT, Old Town Tavern, Fink's Car Care, Spaghetti Eddie's, Battlefield Guns and Ammo, and Crawl Space Doors. GJBTV.com. Go to the marketplace sponsors. Shop early right now. Christmas in July going on. And also HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Great places to shop, eat right there. All in Hampton Roads. Nobody's using the phone book anymore. Go to HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Find everything tourist saved by going to HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Hit marketplace sponsors and GJBTV.com. They take care of this radio show and radio station as well with my sponsors. If you want to call, save the number 454-1650. Ken will be giving away a 7-Eleven prize pack a little bit later. Listen to his announcement, a 7-Eleven free prize pack by texting a little bit later. Stay tuned for that. Great show on tap for you today. Very hot July 4th week coming up right here on this July 2nd. This is Sports Scene. Greg Bicouvaris. Stay tuned. We'll be back on the radio and online after these messages.
Excellent Italian food is found at Spaghetti Eddie's, a neighborhood restaurant with a great family atmosphere and delicious Italian cuisine. Define Spaghetti Eddie's. New York-style pizza, pasta, subs, calzones, soups, salads will bring you back again and again. Log on to SpaghettiEddiesPizzaCafe.com and visit them at Greenbrier and Western Branch. Quality Italian food is at Spaghetti Eddie's.
Nor'easter season is here, so don't get all wet. Protect your house. Call Crawl Space Door Systems at 363-0005. Reduce your flood insurance, reduce the threat of mold and insects, and save energy. Crawl Space Doors, air vents, flood vents, vent covers, and fans can help you stay dry or get you dry quickly. Contact Crawl Space Doors for more information at 363-0005 or online at crawlspacedores.com. Stay dry, my friends.
Old Town Tavern in the heart of Phoebus is your place for a great lunch and dinner, specializing in fresh seafood, burgers, sandwiches, salads, appetizers, and much more. Open daily, Old Town Tavern has live music, pool tables, darts, HD TVs, and a most pleasing atmosphere. Find them on Facebook. Visit 31 East Mellon Street in Hampton with plenty of parking in the back. Call 251-2636, 251-2636, bringing great food and great people together. Old Town Tavern, the locals' choice. Now back to Greg Bicouvaris and Sports Scene in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studio.
But first, let me take a selfie.
And welcome back right here to News Talk 1650 WHKT right here. Glad you're with us on the radio each Wednesday for Sports Scene right here. Also, for more, log on to gjbtv.com and Hampton Roads Online Mall.com. Your place for great retail shopping. Find me on Twitter at Greg Bick, at Sports Highlight, at GJBTV, and of course, HROnlineMall.com as well. Of course, radio, TV, websites, internet, social media, it's all about it as well. We get the elite guests right here in Hampton Roads on Sports Scene. I've had them on before several years ago from the John Deere Classic in Illinois, big golf event coming up in a few weeks. Let's welcome Clair Peterson, the tournament director. How are you, Clair?
We're doing well. Always a pleasure to have you guys following us and let us tell our story.
Very good. Absolutely. And, of course, and you talk about the event, too, and now with Twitter and Facebook and social media and websites, Claire, it seems like everything is pretty much local and regionalized. You got a big event in the Midwest, but everybody can engage by following all your updates.
Yeah, our website, JohnDeereClassic.com, gets a tremendous amount of traffic. We sell a lot of tickets. We give information about the event, the field. We've got an app you can download from there. The fun thing was when Jordan Spieth, our champion, on June 2nd was here for Media Day, we actually had about a half-hour Facebook, Twitter exchange for anyone that wanted to ask him questions, and wound up, we've got about 30,000 people following us on Facebook, about 12,000 on Twitter. So we're trying to get the word out, and there's no shortage of vehicles to do that. Absolutely.
And, of course, your Twitter handle is JD Classic, correct?
Correct.
All right, absolutely. And we're talking right here to Clair Peterson, the tournament director. And Clair, you talk about, lack of Tiger Woods this year, especially, with the Masters and the U.S. Open. And what is his status? We saw the field list on your website. Some very good players like Lucas Glover and Davis Love III are playing, and Kyle Stanley, Jordan Spieth, like you mentioned. You've really got an elite field, whether Tiger plays it or not.
Yeah, Tiger, only plays in about 15 events in the U.S., 15 to 18. He was here in 1996 and hasn't chosen to come back. So we've, succeeded nicely without having him here. And if he were to decide to come, we'd obviously be thrilled, but we don't bank on it. Our theme this year is Magic Happens Here because of the magic finishes and the things that the last 5 holes always kind of present. Spieth's 5-hole playoff victory last year. Now, you've seen him. He's one of the top stories in golf, I would argue, with his Masters accomplishments and his Players' Championship accomplishments, his President's Cup accomplishments last fall. So Steve Stricker and Zach Johnson were the champions before that. President's Cup, Ryder Cup guys, major championship winners. So we've never really banked on one or two guys in our field necessarily to excite the crowd. We've got, and it's been our story for a long time, we've got 156 great players here if you want to get right down to it.
Absolutely. Talking to Clair Peterson, the tournament director of the John Deere Classic, going on July 7th to the 13th in the Midwest. But I tell you one thing, Clair, that CBS and the Golf Channel give you excellent coverage as well.
Yeah, we've got a great relationship with them. They've been coming here for over 10 years, and actually Lance Barrow, the coordinating producer, asked to be on our board about 5 years ago. He thinks enough of us and our event and John Deere. So we've had a great relationship with them, and we're told by players and we're told by CBS that that kind of small town, even though it's 400,000 people, small for PGA Tour stop, friendliness is something they appreciate, and they always seem to comment on that when they're in town and sometimes during the broadcast. Plus, you've got one of the great worldwide brands in John Deere. This is their world headquarters town, 177-year-old company, and they're very proud of that, and that brand kind of brings out humble, hardworking, down-to-earth brand proposition as well. So.
Of course, and we're talking right here to Clair Peterson right here. This is News Talk 1650 right here on the radio, 12:15 right here Eastern Time. Glad you're with us. Also, tunein.com. Type in WHKT in the search box. Listen anywhere on your phone or online. One guy's really relevant to this area, of course, and this is a big golf area here in Virginia Beach and Williamsburg, Newport News. Charles Howell III. He was the last one to win the Kingsmill Classic back in 2002 here. I see he's playing as well, and you got some pretty good guys there, and Ben Crane and Chad Collins as well. Really, just like you said, a really nice field. Stuart Sink. The list goes on and on. KJ Choi. So,
yeah, we're thrilled. Charles is one of our favorite guys. We gave him an exemption, just like we did Jordan a couple of years ago. We gave him an exemption back in 2000. He almost won here, just coming out of Oklahoma State. He's never forgotten that and come back. But when you talk about major championship winners in our field or Players Championship winners, Lucas Glover, KJ Choi, Tim Clark, Stuart Sink, Davis Love. We've got, I think, 27 players who have won tournaments in the last 2 years. Sang Moon Bae, like I said, Ben Crane, Harris English, Ken Duke, Tommy Gainey, Chesson Hadley, Russell Henley, Zach, of course, Stricker, D.A. Points. We're Boo Weekly. We're really excited about it. Plus, we've got some young players, which we always try to do, to start a relationship with that are very accomplished. Patrick Rogers, #1 amateur all last year, just graduated or just finished his third year at Stanford, now has turned pro. He actually led our tournament for a while last year. He's going to be back. Cameron Wilson, the NCAA individual champion, his teammate at Stanford, is going to be here. Jordan Niebrugge played on the Walker Cup team, Pub Links winner last year, played in the Masters. From Wisconsin, Steve Stricker country. He's going to be here. Stephen Eim, a great kid that is from Iowa, went from the University of Iowa. So it's, you mentioned, one player earlier. We have, tens of thousands of people here that are just great golf enthusiasts and have their own guys that they like to follow.
And you take care of the players with great amenities. You treat them really well before and after, not just during the 4 days of competitions. We're talking to Clair Peterson, tournament director of the JD Classic. That's going to be showcased on CBS and the Golf Channel. Greg Bicouvaris, glad you're with us on the radio and online. And one thing I want to ask you, your event's very healthy, but golf has taken some criticism for the TV ratings this year, been lower than usual, not as high. The U.S. Open next year is going on Fox, which to me, I'm personally very pleased with also. But what is the state of golf right now, Clair? The World Cup has superseded every sport this summer. I mean, let's be real here. It's superseded baseball. The Wimbledon is going on. People don't even know it's really existing right now because of the World Cup. Your event, of course, ends as the World Cup is over. But what is the state of golf right now?
I think golf's awesome. It's going to be in the Olympics in 2016. The thing that you don't mention when you talk about the ratings is the fact that on a network broadcast, we reach on CBS 200 million households, but that same broadcast is aired in 200 countries and territories around the world, another 600 million households. So for our area and our worldwide title sponsor, John Deere, it's huge, and it's growing. And the number of people that are following it has less to do with a network TV rating than actually the worldwide nature of golf. It's a big deal.
I was not even talking about your event at all. Just your event always is a signature event in the summertime. People look forward to it. I'm just saying there's a lot going on. The World Cup has superseded baseball. The ratings have not been good right now on TV on baseball, and it's just a big event. But like you said, I think golf complements it because it's going to be in the Olympics, so that's a really good point. And golf has always been a worldwide sport.
Yeah, and it's the same game played all over the world. Some sports aren't translatable. John Deere used to have a NASCAR team, which had a very loyal following in North America. But you go to China or India or a place like that, and it's not even known. So golf has this worldwide appeal. Like I said, I think the Olympics in 2016, there are golf programs starting in countries that have never thought about it before because they can send a team to the Olympics. So I think you have to measure it on a bigger platform than just a network TV rating.
Let me ask you this, because I really respect your opinion. In the U.S. Open in North Carolina, the women, you had an 11-year-old girl playing it. Could you imagine, Claire, I want to get your thoughts, if an 11-year-old boy played in the U.S. Open men's golf tournament? Just what are your thoughts about that?
I thought Jaime Diaz in Golf World magazine, very respected writer, had a great angle on it, and the numbers you should focus on are the scores they're shooting, not necessarily their age. This is a sport that's quantifiable. You can't argue with what's being done on the scorecard. And if they are good enough in the U.S. Open, and the U.S. Women, the USGA, through their Open Championships, that's why they're called Open Championships. Yeah. You go, you tee it up, you post a score, and they take the people that shoot the best score and let it advance. Whatever age they are, those are individual decisions, family decisions, whatever. But you can't argue with the fact that she earned her way into that championship.
It's just different. I mean, let's face it. You're not going to see an 11-year-old in the NBA or the NFL or hockey or whatever. But it may be swimming. But like you said, it's all about the scoring as well. You're right.
Right.
So, and of course, the future of the event. Looking forward to next year, of course, and. You are right near the Open. People refer it still the British Open, but you still get that great field, and that's what I'm really impressed by. Really, too, Claire, is that you still got an elite field, even though there's a third leg of the major right around the corner.
Well, I appreciate you saying something about that and noticing that. I think we changed the dynamic of our event in 2008 when we promised a nonstop, all first-class 100-seat charter that goes directly from our airport right to the site of the Open Championship.
Yeah.
The year before, 2007, the charter, we only had 7 players in our field that went to the Open, and all of them lost their luggage going through Heathrow. So that was not a good situation. Since then, we've had over 20 players every year in the Open and in our field, and we're told that it is the easiest and most hassle-free way to get there. We have a big enough plane where there's no refueling. They're never separated from their luggage. We get them there before noon on Monday, and we have ground transportation set up to the golf course or the hotel, depending on the venue. And we have many, many players that come back because of the charter. We just had Sean Stephanie and Ben Martin found out that, last Sunday that they finished high enough to where they're in the Open now, and they immediately called and said, hey, I still want to be in the event, but it put me on the plane.
Sure.
There's sometimes guys that find out they're in the Open and commit so they can get over.
Yeah.
Ryan Moore did that last year, and he's in our field this year. He said, I I don't want to deal with commercial travel anymore. I want to get on your jet.
Yeah, it's only human nature to be preoccupied or multitask, and luckily we live in a multitask world as well. And you talk about your event too, and the PGA this year as well, Claire. What a great variety of winners! It's not the same old, you know.
No, there again, I think it is a reminder that everyone in these fields are world-class players. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see the Matt Jones and the Stephen Bowdiches and the Brendan Todds winning and hearing their stories. They are world-class players. And if you only think that there are 5 people every week that are capable of winning, you're fooling yourself. Mm-hmm. And this year has been a real reminder of that.
All right, Claire, give us a final thought real quick. Again, your Twitter, your website, and, of course, the event is going on July 7th through the 13th on the Golf Channel and CBS. Go ahead and plug your event one more time.
JohnDeereClassic.com is the website, and you'll get all those other forms of following us from that one place, JohnDeereClassic.com. You can buy tickets if you're close to here. I know people out in your area might not be flying in for the event, but you can see our field and you can see what's going to happen next week. We're really excited about it. JohnDeereClassic.com.
Yeah, like you said, there's nothing local anymore. People can listen to this show on their phone or their computer anywhere in the world. So all the best to you, my friend, and we'll talk to you again before next year's event.
Thanks. Really appreciate you following us.
My pleasure. Okay. All right. Claire Peterson right there. Ken Johnson. Boy, it is hot, hot, hot. One thing, we used to have the men's golf tournament in the summer in Williamsburg. It was always the humidity. And, it's always human nature. During the winter, we want to go somewhere warm. During the summer, we want to go to Alaska.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the springtime, the ladies were smart. The LPGA was always in the springtime over at, not at Stumpy Lake, at... think of it in a minute. Sleepy Hole. Mm-hmm. So that was a little better. It was nicer weather.
And Ken, you got something to read real quick for our fans and listeners?
If you want a free 7-Eleven prize pack, that means there's a lot of goodies at 7-Eleven. All you have to do is text FUN. You know how to fun. You know how to spell it, don't you? F-U-N. Text FUN to 757-291-4234. That's 757-291-4234 for a free 7-Eleven prize pack. Got to text FUN to that number now if you want a Slurpee.
Repeat it one more time, Ken.
FUN, F-U-N, to 757-291-4234, and you get yourself a free 7-Eleven prize pack.
Yum. Free. All right, and stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few moments. Of course, we got CBS News. I want to go ahead and do highlights here coming up, Ken, and we'll take care of highlights and lead you into CBS News.
Old Town Tavern in the heart of Phoebus is your place for a great lunch and dinner. Specializing in fresh seafood, burgers, sandwiches, salads, appetizers, and much more. Open daily, Old Town Tavern has live music, pool tables, darts, HD TVs, and a most pleasing atmosphere. Find them on Facebook. Visit 31 East Mellon Street in Hampton with plenty of parking in the back. Call 251-2636, 251-2636, bringing great food and great people together. Old Town Tavern, the locals' choice. Your family and their safety are your number one priority. Your homestead and your business and quality of life can give you peace of mind, but there are some bad hombres out there. Keep it all safe with the proper firearms and ammo from Battlefield Guns and Ammo. You can't take anything for granted, whether you're at the ranch or out on the trail. Call 757-410-7720. Log on to battlefield-guns.com and visit Battlefield Guns and Ammo at 240 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake.
Fink's Car Care is your place for all of your automotive needs. They handle state inspections, brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, transmission service, radiator repair. They have a wide variety of tires, and when it comes to your car, they do it all. Visit their 2 locations at 2711 Victory Boulevard in Portsmouth and 2236 South Military Highway in Chesapeake. For more, log on to finkscarcare.com and call 545-3573.
All right, welcome back right here to Sports Scene on News Talk 1650. Hope you enjoyed that first interview about the big PGA Tour event, the John Deere Classic. We do have a prize winner there, Ken. We'll just give out his first 3 phone numbers of his name right there, 757-567. We will call you after the show, after 1 o'clock. Congratulations for winning the prize pack. Don't forget, July 16th, fans in the audience right here, listeners of the show, 3 of them will be right here. Our great listeners of Sports Scene will be in here talking about the hot topics of the day, like the Redskins and so much more in the name change right here on Sports Scene. Ken, a lot of great guests coming up. We'll be talking Wimbledon, Business Spotlight, what teased me off, and our highlights after your CBS News traffic and weather.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and take a look at the traffic, what's going on right now. We have a couple of crashes working. One of those 64 eastbound in Norfolk at Northampton Boulevard. The right lane is blocked off just past the on-ramp from Northampton Boulevard. We've also got a crash in Chesapeake Moses Grandy Trail at Hinton Avenue, and we've got James River Bridge opening tomorrow at 2 p.m. Weather is going to be the big deal. A lot of people want to get out and do something on the 4th of July. Well, you got some problems with tropical storm Arthur, possibly soon to be a hurricane, maybe as soon as tomorrow they rename that. But in the meantime, we're looking for some stray thunderstorms possible today, 94, tonight 77, and tomorrow as well with 90. But right now, the 4th of July forecast calling for cloudy skies, windy, heavy rain, high winds, and a high of 81 degrees. The weekend's not a total washout, though. The forecast right now calling for partly cloudy skies on Saturday, 80, and partly cloudy skies on Sunday with a high of 83 degrees. So if they postpone everything that's supposed to go on the 4th of July Friday, at least we have some halfway decent weather coming up for the weekend to possibly get all that done. And CBS News is next. It's 12:31 on K-Talk 1650.
CBS News Update, I'm Peter King. One of the country's largest retailers is asking customers who have guns not to bring them into their stores. In a written statement, Target's interim CEO John Mulligan says guns create, quote, an environment that is at odds with a family-friendly shopping and work experience we strive to create.
The Target statement was perfectly clear about how they feel about the issue of gun carrying in their stores.
Lad Everett is with the Coalition to Stop Gun Violence.
What Target recognized is that this policy of allowing people to freely bring firearms into their store, whether those guns are being openly carried or concealed, is bad for business.
Target's announcement comes after pressure about its policy on the open carry of firearms. The group Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America says it gave Target a petition with nearly 400,000 signatures. It claims responsibility for Chipotle, Starbucks, and Jack in the Box changing their policies as well. CBS News Update. I'm Peter King.
Old Town Tavern in the heart of Phoebus is your place for a great lunch and dinner, specializing in fresh seafood, burgers, sandwiches, salads, appetizers, and much more. Open daily, Old Town Tavern has live music, pool tables, darts, HD TVs, and a most pleasing atmosphere. Find them on Facebook. Visit 31 East Mellon Street in Hampton with plenty of parking in the back. Call 251-2636, 251-2636, bringing great food and great people together. Old Town Tavern, the locals' choice.
People in Chesapeake and Hampton Roads have come to expect the finest Italian food at Spaghetti Eddie's. In addition to great lunch and dinner served daily, this fine establishment caters to and can host your party. Call 484-7301 for their Taylor Road location and call 410-5500 for their restaurant in Greenbrier. For more, log on to SpaghettiEddiesPizzaCafe.com.
Summer is here, and so are the Norfolk Tides. Catch the fun and excitement as your Norfolk Tides take the field at beautiful Harbor Park. Bring your friends and family to root on the Orioles of tomorrow today. Log on to NorfolkTides.com for more information on season tickets, groups, ticket discounts, and Tides merchandise. And don't forget to follow the Tides on Twitter and Facebook for up-to-date promotions and team information. Tides Baseball, minor leagues, major fun.
Nor'easter season is here, so don't get all wet.
Protect your house. Call Crawl Space Door Systems at 363-0005. Reduce your flood insurance, reduce the threat of mold and insects, and save energy. Crawl Space Doors, air vents, flood vents, vent covers, and fans can help you stay dry or get you dry quickly. Contact Crawl Space Doors for more information at 363-0005 or online at crawlspacedores.com. Stay dry, my friends.
It's now time for Greg's Highlights on Sports Scene, presented by GJBTV.com Marketplace Sponsors page.
All right, thank you very much, Ken Johnson. Glad you're with us. Don't forget GJBTV.com Marketplace Sponsors, also Hampton Roads Online Mall.com. They also do one of our liners here as well. Glad you're with us on the radio. Ken, hot day. How are you staying cool, my friend?
staying in the studio as much as I can. Trying not to get outside. If you do have to go outside, just be careful. It's a muggy one.
Great first guest right there, Clair Peterson, tournament director of the JD Classic in the Midwest. Of course, a lot cooler there than it is here in Virginia. But like I said, we're always talking about in the summer going to Alaska, in the winter going to Hawaii. Don't forget to shop on Marketplace sponsors, GJBTV.com, HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Save the date each Wednesday for Sports Scene, 12 to 1. Right here on News Talk 1650, your 10,000-watt powerhouse in Hampton Roads. Also, hear it all the way up through Maryland almost, and also tunein.com. Type in WHKT on your phone or your computer. Don't forget Business Spotlight scene coming up. What Tees Me Off, Sports Highlights archive shows on NNPSTV.com. My background, GJBTV.com. I've been in broadcasting since 19. The World Cup is going on. The Americans got beat, but they did play well. But shame on them for not selecting Landon Donovan. That came to haunt them in the end, and they were not in shape to compete against Belgium at all. That was very, very obvious. Also, the hot heat going on. Of course, tennis coming up as well. Stay tuned. We'll be back after these messages.
Fink's Car Care, with locations in Chesapeake and Portsmouth, is your dedicated Tire Stars dealer. At Fink's, their experienced staff specializes in brake, steering, suspension, tune-ups, oil changes, and much more. They also handle rebuilt engines and transmissions, and they're your destination for tires, rims, and towing as well. Fink's is located at 2236 South Military Highway at 2711 Victory Boulevard. For more information, log on to finkscarcare.com or call 545-3573.
Nor'easter season is here, so don't get all wet.
Protect your house. Call Crawl Space Door Systems at 363-0005. Reduce your flood insurance, reduce the threat of mold and insects, and save energy. Crawl Space Doors, air vents, flood vents, vent covers, and fans can help you stay dry or get you dry quickly. Contact Crawl Space Doors for more information at 363-0005 or online at crawlspacedores.com. Stay dry, my friends.
Your family and their safety are your number one priority. Your homestead and your business and quality of life can give you peace of mind, but there are some bad hombres out there. Keep it all safe with the proper firearms and ammo from Battlefield Guns and Ammo. You can't take anything for granted, whether you're at the ranch or out on the trail. Call 757-410-7720. Log on to battlefield-guns.com and visit Battlefield Guns and Ammo at 240 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. Now back to Greg Bicouvaris and Sports Scene in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studio.
All right, Kenny Johnson, former colleague for 6 years in the radio right here, back together again since December 2013. Devontae's even in the studio. Congratulations to Mike. We get the best listeners on Sports Scene for winning the 7-Eleven prize pack. Mike, you will get the phone call after 1 o'clock, and Mike and others. You can always text. Listen every week right here to Sports Scene, News Talk 1650, the only sports interview show in Hampton Roads during a convenient hour, not interrupted by some silly game that nobody cares about. Now let's welcome a great tennis coach in Hampton Roads. In fact, he coaches at Hampton Roads Academy, used to coach at Ferguson and Menchville, coached me as well. Let's welcome Marvin Hedgepeth, the elite tennis authority in Hampton Roads. Marvin, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. Good to talk to you again.
Well, I got to ask you this first, Marvin. Let's get right to it. The Wimbledon's going on, but other than Serena Williams, of course, losing in singles and doubles, of course, she got beat pretty bad in singles, doubles, and illness. But the World Cup, Marvin, has dominated every single sport: baseball, golf, tennis. I mean, really has superseded everything else.
Well, just speaking for myself, I other than World Cup time, I don't even watch any soccer, and we actually went further than most people had expected, and it was a great game yesterday.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Wimbledon, Marvin. And first of all, you've coached a lot of high school and college players over the years. You've done a lot of clinics in Hampton Roads. You've been all over the Mid-Atlantic. You've been all over the country playing in sanctioned tournaments. You've been ranked as well in the state in your age group over the years. What is up with Americans tennis and men's and women's tennis? What's the health of it?
I think the health of it overall is fine because the numbers of people actually playing are up and constantly going up. On the other hand, I don't think that tennis will ever be like the national pastime that it practically is in some of the Eastern European countries. But at the world level, well, the numbers speak for themselves. The number of top 100 players, men and women, are down. I think the future is actually quite a bit brighter for the women in terms of Americans than the men. We do have some very promising up-and-coming women players.
This is Sports Scene right here on News Talk 1650 WHKT. Greg Bicouvaris, glad you're with us right here every Wednesday, 12 to 1. Also, tunein.com, type in WHKT. Tell your friends. Follow me at Greg Bick, at GJBTV, at HROnlineMallCom, and at Sports Highlight. Marvin, when you talk about tennis and, the Wimbledon going on right now, it just doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of names that people recognize. Even Nadal got beat.
Right. Well, I just learned just moments ago that Murray lost today as well. Wawrinka and Federer are playing now. It's a very close match. But all of the American men and women are gone, and that's gotten to be the case very often, particularly in the men, by the time we get to the quarterfinals, with the exception of Serena Williams.
Yeah, but it seems like doubles is still pretty healthy. The Bryan brothers, they're well over 30 years old, still dominating doubles, winning slams, but singles seems like it's like a totally different issue. For the long time, people remember Jimmy Connors, John McEnroe, Pete Sampras, Michael Chang, Andre Agassi, but now people can barely know another American name besides John Isner and Serena Williams.
You're right, and as great as the Bryan brothers are, the doubles are still very much under the radar. A lot of people don't follow doubles, and if you look at a list of the top 20 doubles players versus a list of the top 20 singles players, and men or women, you'll see a lot of names that you don't recognize unless you're really a close follower of professional tennis.
We're talking to Marvin Hedgepeth. He is the authority on tennis in the entire state of Virginia, been ranked. He's coached several players, including Kip Lehman. And Marvin, you had a really good squad at HRA. Several of your players got awards. Talk about that.
Oh, I've been real pleased. The last 2 years, one of my young ladies have been named the Player of the Year by the Peninsula Sports Club and the Daily Press. We've had a real successful program, particularly with the girls. The guys made tremendous strides this year, going from an 0-12 season in 2013 to actually a 7-5 season this year. So we made tremendous strides. I did look at my upcoming fall schedule for the girls, and it is, in a word, it is brutal. We'll be playing as many Division I schools as Division II, including some of the top schools like Norfolk Academy, Cape Henry, Collegiate of Richmond, St. Catherine's of Richmond. But what that does is prepare you for your state tournament.
Yep, talking to Marvin Hedgepeth. Talking to Marvin Hedgepeth right here. Greg Bicouvaris. This is Sports Scene at 12:43 up until 1 o'clock. You're home for CBS News. For more, log on to GJBTV.com. Marketplace sponsors, shop on there. And also Hampton Roads Online Mall.com for all your retail. Marvin, you should do that as well. Shop on HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com as well. You and your great family can have a lot of savings there for retail needs. And let me ask you this. I asked the tournament director for the John Deere Classic on prior to you going on CBS next week in Illinois, the PGA Tour event. You had an 11-year-old girl in the U.S. Open women's golf tournament, Marvin. Can you imagine if an 11-year-old tried to play the tennis? We saw, of course, Jennifer Capriati play as a teenager, but what are your thoughts about that? Because it shows to me how weak the LPGA Tour is when an 11-year-old girl can knock out some of these other girls. To me, that's more of a statement on how weak the LPGA is, because an 11-year-old is just not physically and mentally or emotionally mature enough to handle the grind of a regular tour week in and week out, yet she's knocking out veterans. That's weak on the LPGA.
Well, I followed that story. I did see her several times at interviews and so on. Golf is so non-physical.
Yeah.
As far as the emotional being able to handle it, I felt that she was grounded and was just enjoying playing golf. And I agree with you. If the LPGA is not so solid that an 11-year-old can come in and compete with grown women, then maybe they're just desserts.
Yeah, it's more of a statement. But
and some of them did not want her to play.
Sure.
And they've been very vocal about the fact.
Yeah, because she made them look bad because she was dominating them. That's exactly why. She was beating grown women, 11-year-old. That's embarrassing to the sport of golf. Golf ratings are way down. Attendance is down. People don't have time. And a lot of national radio talk show hosts talk about this. We talk about it too. People don't have 4 hours for anything anymore. I mean, nothing. I went to a retirement party and a sports club banquet in June, Marvin. We're not going to mention the names in Newport News. One event went over 5 hours. The other event went over 3.5 hours. People only have about 2 to 3 hours. That's one thing about baseball. It drags on. I told Ken, our producer, like dial-up internet. I mean, it's just so slow. But tennis is pretty quick. I got to give it credit. Football is good. Basketball is good. But baseball and some of these other sports are slow.
Well, I think that's one of the areas where tennis really stands out.
Sure.
You can have a soccer game and some other sports where every 30 minutes there might be 30 seconds of real top action, and tennis isn't like that. So I think that's one thing in our favor.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with you totally. It's just difficult to set aside that amount of time to see that little action.
Yeah, and let me ask you this too. You're also the authority in fishing in Hampton Roads. You recently went out to talk about your charter boat experience. You fish better than anybody in the state as well. Talk about that experience.
I wouldn't go that far, but I did have a nice charter trip last week off of the Hilton Head, South Carolina.
What did you catch?
Where we trolled and caught a number of very tasty Spanish mackerel, and then we took turns getting strapped into a fighting chair, fishing for sharks. A number of which we weren't even able to stop or see. We had some fairly slight individuals on the boat who don't weigh much over 100 pounds, who we were careful to strap in the fighting chair as we didn't want to lose anybody. But it was quite a bit of fun, and we brought some steaks and fillets from some of the smaller sharks we caught, some black tips, and we grilled some and fried some. And
nice.
Very, very tasty.
Talking to Marvin Hedgepeth, head coach at Hampton Roads Academy in Newport News. My mother used to teach there as well. He taught me in tennis at Ferguson, talking about the Wimbledon, talking about fishing. And, you talk about that sport as well. And give a little bit of advice, Marvin. You've done a lot of freshwater fishing. And one thing people are very afraid of around the lakes here are water moccasins. How real are they? And what type of threat are water moccasins to all the different lakes in Hampton Roads, not just on the peninsula, but the south side as well?
That's a wonderful question, Greg. First of all, probably over 90% of the snakes that we see on our reservoirs and lakes and ponds and streams around here are different varieties of water snakes that are not at all poisonous, and they're very skittish of human beings. We do live here in Southeast Virginia. We are sort of at the northern range for the cottonmouth water moccasin, and there are some around here, and they aren't really aggressive except in the late spring when they've got little ones that they're aggressive if you come near where they're raising their little ones. But most of the snakes that we see around our ponds here are banded water snakes or other water snakes that are totally harmless. But most people, the word snake just conjures up so much fear anyway.
Sure does. And I got to leave you on this note. I was at Deerfield Beach in early May and went swimming in the water there where, of course, you can't swim that early in Virginia Beach here. I did go swimming in Virginia Beach yesterday. The water was just excellent for July 1st. But to make a long story short, Marvin, I went swimming in Deerfield Beach. A lot of the friends down there swimming, enjoying the water in May, like I said, in Florida, May 1st and right before the end of April. And I come back home and go to YouTube and type in Deerfield Beach sharks. That is one of the most highly shark-infested areas in the mid-Atlantic, of course, through the southeast. And I'm like, oh, my goodness, I was swimming in a shark-infested area, but luckily they weren't around that 2 days I was there.
Well, the ugly truth, Greg, is that Virginia Beach, Cape Cod, Hatteras,
Nags Head.
Whenever you're swimming in the ocean, you're swimming near sharks. And then there have been recently a number of occasions on the news where camera shots from helicopters have been taken in clear water, where numerous large sharks can be seen not too far beyond the people playing in the ocean. And so that's just a fact of life. Whenever you're swimming in the ocean, you're in their yard.
Absolutely.
They're there. You're swimming. And in the case of bull sharks, you might go on the James River up as far as Jamestown or beyond, where it's fresh water, and there could be bull sharks there because they actually go up into fresh water.
Yeah.
So it's just you don't want to be there with a lot of blood in the water and a lot of splashing and that sort of thing. And of course, as you know, the water around here has poor visibility, and you can't see what is around you.
Yeah.
So you just use common sense.
You got to take the jewelry off, too, as well. Salt water or fresh water, those bull sharks are around. Marvin, all the best to you. All the best in tennis. We'll see what happens with the Americans in the U.S. Open. I know I'll be at the Winston-Salem Open in August. Looking forward to that. Also, the tournament in D.C. is also a great event. You can remember Paul Goldstein used to play in that all the time. And, of course, so many great players, Americans, Andre Agassi and so forth. But all the best to you and Wanda. Say hello to the family.
Always wonderful talking with you, Greg.
Okay, Marvin, Hedgepeth right there, Ken Johnson. He knows tennis, he knows fishing, he's right. And a lot of people, go to the lakes here during the summer, go to the beaches and the rivers, but, there's always, you're not the invited guest there. You're going to the animals' home there, Ken.
Oh, yeah. Anytime you're out in the woods, in the wilderness, in the water, anywhere else, that's not your home.
No.
How would you feel if a bear wandered into your home? Well, that's the same way they feel about you.
Yeah, and there's bear in Virginia Beach, too. Now, one thing, and I will say this on what teased me off, that show Finding Bigfoot, I've talked about that before. We'll save that after this with our next guest.
Fink's Car Care, with locations in Chesapeake and Portsmouth, is your dedicated Tire Stars dealer. At Fink's, their experienced staff specializes in brake, steering, suspension, tune-ups, oil changes, and much more. They also handle rebuilt engines and transmissions, and they're your destination for tires, rims, and towing as well. Fink's is located at 2236 South Military Highway at 2711 Victory Boulevard. For more information, log on to finkscarcare.com or call 545-3573.
Old Town Tavern in the heart of Phoebus is your place for a great lunch and dinner, specializing in fresh seafood, burgers, sandwiches, salads, appetizers, and much more. Open daily, Old Town Tavern has live music, pool tables, darts, HD TVs, and a most pleasing atmosphere. Find them on Facebook. Visit 31 East Mellon Street in Hampton with plenty of parking in the back. Call 251-2636, 251-2636, bringing great food and great people together. Old Town Tavern, the locals' choice. Your family and their safety are your number one priority. Your home, your business, and quality of life provide peace of mind. Your security can be enhanced with the proper firearms and ammo from Battlefield Guns and Ammo. Never take anything for granted, whether you're at home or away. Call 757-410-7720, log on to battlefield-guns.com, and visit Battlefield Guns and Ammo at 240 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. Now back to Greg Bicouvaris and Sports Scene in the Hampton Roads Online Mall.com studio.
All right, thank you very much, Ken Johnson. Glad you're with us live on the radio, 12:53, right before 1 o'clock, the lunch hour. This is Sports Scene every Wednesday, 12 to 1 on News Talk, 1650 AM, WHKT, also TuneIn.com. Listen on your phone, how convenient. Of course, on the computer on TuneIn.com, type in WHKT. We've heard from Clair, Peterson, and Marvin Hedgepeth today. In fact, Marvin coaching me in tennis. Small world. Everybody in this area in Hampton Roads, Ken, knows everybody. This next guest, Jenna Heuser, my mother taught her in high school. We didn't even know it till about a month ago because my mom taught at Bethel and Jeff Davis and HRA and CNU, so many people. And one person she did touch was Jenna Heuser, and she has a wonderful business, Groom Z Mobile Grooming Salon on the peninsula in Williamsburg. Jenna, welcome. How's your summer going?
Oh, it's going great. Thank you, Greg.
Very good, very good. Tell us about your business.
Well, we're a mobile dog grooming service, and what's unique about our service is that we come directly to your home or your place of business, and we perform the entire groom in our state-of-the-art van right there.
And what do you specialize in?
Well, grooming dogs. So we do dogs of all sizes and breeds, and it's a very good service for older or handicapped dogs that maybe don't want to spend an entire day at the grooming shop.
Yeah, absolutely, but also older people that can't get out there either. You know, you're
sure.
You're
And
very
people
convenient.
People with babies that don't want to have the big dogs in the car with the younger children, or with big dirty dogs that don't want to have dirt in their car.
Mm-hmm. Well, talk about the mobile services. It seems like it really fits in today's society and lifestyle too, Jenna, is that, you know, we got Facebook, we got Twitter, we got online, we got texting, we got emails, we got websites, and of course we're listening to this show online as well, in addition to terrestrial radio, of course. But everything in life is becoming mobile now, and your company is almost ahead of its game.
Well, it's all about service. It's all about service and lack of stress for your dog. We have 2 dogs. One of them requires grooming, and we got him about 3 years ago, and I had to drop him off at the grooming shop, and he'd have to stay there all day.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very stressful for him. He was shaking. He really didn't care for having to even go into the shop with the bigger dogs and all of the noise and just the smells of the other dogs.
Sure.
So we researched what would be a better service for him, and we found the idea of mobile. So seeing that there really wasn't much in Williamsburg available, we decided to open a business ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Do you cater to all dogs? And talk about that.
Yes, we do. We cater to the smaller Shih Tzus, Yorkies, Maltipoos, anything that needs a full-body style cut, all the way up to the larger German Shepherds, and they may need furminating. We do Labs. We do golden doodles, and they're very big business for us now, and standard poodles as well. So we do all size dogs in our van.
And people love their pets in Hampton Roads and everywhere. Of course, give us all your contact information. Folks, you can also go to gjbtv.com and find their link on my website as well. That's up there 24/7. What a beautiful image you've got, too, Groom Z. What a nice red image that is.
Well, thanks. Our phone number, which is the best way to contact us, would be 757-603-6787. You can also explore our website, and we do have contact information there, and that is www.grooms2u.com. So that's GROOMZ, the number 2, the letter U.com.
And you can also Google it as well, and you'll find that's the power of Google. And also, like I said, go to gjbtv.com. You'll see the Groom Z logo, and that van, really, you see it all over Williamsburg and the peninsula.
We do, and I hope you'll give our service a try, because it really does. It's a great convenience for you and your pet.
Jenna, we'll be talking to you again later this summer and fall, and give us your best to your husband as well, and all the best to you for Groom Z, great mobile grooming salon for dogs.
Thanks very much.
Always a pleasure.
Day. All right.
All right, Jenna Heuser right there, Ken Johnson. People love their pets.
Absolutely. You see, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. So, yeah, they love their critters. We ready to talk about what torques our jaw?
Yes.
What tees you off? Presented by GJBTV.com.
How about we lead off fresh with this, Ken? Computers, we rely on them so much, but boy, I tell you one thing, they go to one screen to another. They go to automation. They go to, they try to render on their own, and they have a mind of their own.
It would be nice, and I've said it before, it would be nice if the computers just did what they're supposed to do and nothing else, instead of doing what they won't do. And like, we've got a mouse here that has completely failed and totally misfunctioned. If one part goes down, the whole thing.
Well, the mouse is falling apart there. Yeah. But absolutely. But, cars need oil changes. We know we need to change our vents as well, so might as well change the computers too. Soccer player Ken biting others in the World Cup several times. What a worthless piece of junk that was. A grown man biting other men. Really?
Somebody needs to check his diet. Apparently he's not getting enough protein.
Yeah, the whole Redskins name controversy, don't blame it on Dan Snyder. It was like that long before Snyder. Look at Jack Can't Cook in the mirror. He did nothing about it.
Yeah, and it was not intended as a slur. It was intended as a tribute to begin with, and the vast majority of Native Americans don't mind it a bit.
Old Dominion football is coming up in a couple months, so is football season, Ken. And last year they took on North Carolina. The coach said, you know what, we can't handle playing Carolina. We're just going to quit in the middle of the game. Please, man up this year and don't quit, Old Dominion.
What is the story with that? Just quit? You can't do that. What does that say to the students?
Yeah, and then they were beating teams and scoring 70 points, and they weren't telling the other team to, know what, take it easy the rest of the game. We got this. Can you imagine going on the road on live regional TV, telling the coach, you know what, we're not good enough.
Exactly.
All right. People who are not in charge, Ken, acting like they are. And all it does is require more communication to solve that problem.
I have so many stories to tell and not enough time, beauty pageants included.
Ken, people who are in need of good help and eager to hire, but slow to pay. Do you know anybody like that?
You let me think for a minute.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I do.
And make you ask an email, when will I get paid, when it's up to them who procrastinate. And hurricane names, why do they got to be so sophisticated when they do so much damage? We got Arthur coming up.
Yeah, Arthur.
Yeah, really? Arthur, stay away. Go to Alaska, Arthur. Want to thank our great guests today, Clair, Peterson, Marvin, Hedgepeth, Jenna, Heuser, all excellent guests. For more, log on to gjbtv.com, Hampton Roads Online Mall.com, sports highlights on nnpstv.com as well. Hit the YouTube link on gjbtv.com. Subscribe to Sports Scene as well. Congratulations to Mike, the winner of the 7-Eleven prize pack. For Ken Johnson, I'm Greg Bicouvaris. Happy 4th, and we'll talk to you soon.
AM 1650 WHKT Portsmouth. It's 1 o'clock.